Together over the weekend, stuck in 3 weeks.
They set that block.
Enough support staff, she can get through it.
All right, it is 10 o'clock. We'll call the meeting of the LEPC to order. Nick Wilson could not be here, so I'll step in and run the meeting for him. So first item on the agenda is roll call.
Craig Tanis, I'm here. John Berries.
Here.
Sheriff Bevere.
Here.
Commissioner Collins. Here. Lieutenant Hudson.
Here.
Ben Ricker. Chief Armstrong. Here. Chief Armstrong is here for Chief Damon, Monica Hunt, Jessica Nelson, Chief Wilson, Chief Patterson. Here. Jen Ambrose.
Here.
And Jamie Williams for Tony Garcia. Here.
All right, so we have a quorum.
Yep.
Excellent. Approval of the minutes. Approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
There are no additions or corrections. I move they be accepted as submitted.
I'll second.
All right. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passed. Reports. Finance report.
So that was included in your packet. Nothing's changed from the last time. We haven't approved or spent any additional grant funds. FY 23 is expended. FY 24, we have until May of 27, and that's just under $9,500. And at our regional board meeting this Thursday, we were allocated our FY 25 money from the state. So we'll be going over those allocations at our board meeting on Thursday, and I should have those numbers. They'll either be about the same or more than last year, than FY 24, depending on how the regional board votes.
All right, any questions on the finance report? We need a motion for that one?
Yep.
All right, I would entertain a motion to accept the finance report.
I'll make the motion to accept the finance.
I'll second.
All right. Motion by Chief Patterson, second by Chief Armstrong. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Finance report is approved. Moving on to the emergency management report.
So that report was also included. But what I'll talk about today is an event that just happened. Some of you may or may not be aware, we had an oil leak from one of our oil wells in Adrian Township that occurred Friday late afternoon. It was one of the old Savoy wells, which was purchased by another owner. And it's a non-operating well, so they weren't sure where the leak was coming from. And we eventually found the source, and there are two containment pits side by side. And one containment pit with all the rain we got was filling up, so the line that fed the backup containment pit was not working, and so a worker just manually pumped into the second containment pit. That containment pit was leaking, and it leaked into a field tile, which then leaked into Black Creek, which feeds into Wolf Creek. The biggest concern was Wolf Creek feeds Lake Adrian. No, the public was never at any danger. No oil made it to Lake Adrian. Everything was boomed. A consultant was hired, TES, which I believe, AJ, you're familiar with them. He teaches at the state with AJ. They were hired and they came down and they took over the site, and they worked all weekend. they've put additional booming, so our hazmat team put booming out at the site. It was at the point where it was going in, a little further downstream, at the, Brazee Road Bridge. So this occurred basically on the corner of Emery and, Knight. And so they went down to the bridge at night in Brazee. And then just as a precaution, they put more booming down at, Burnwick Drive, which is the last bridge before you get to Lake Adrian. They've been, pumping out the water anywhere there was sheen and at the booms to date, which was as of yesterday. TES has, recovered 250 gallons of water that had oil in it. And then, Wednesday, they will start, removing the, north pit, which was the pit that was leaking. And then Eagle's also been on site, and they will determine what additional cleanup is required as far as that field tile and any other contamination that's happened in that field. All notifications were made with the state. I was in immediate contact with Will Sadler, who was the utilities director at the city of Adrian, as well as the interim administrator. So he went out and immediately checked where Wolf Creek enters Lake Adrian, and there was no evidence of any sheen there. So it was a really good response from our hazmat team, and the booming did what it was supposed to do. It appears that the contractor said nothing has gotten down to that last booming at Burnwick Drive. So they put additional booming there as well, just as a precaution. I'll answer any questions anybody has.
Any questions? All right. Make a motion to approve? Don't need a motion? Okay. Moving on to the E911 Director Report.
That report was attached as well. Just a couple things to highlight. Our Tyler software CAD was upgraded successfully right after we came up with a small problem. However, that has been fixed as well. So we're considering that to be complete. Another item to hit is that the radio templating, as we have been working with the fire departments to retemplate their radios, we realized that ours in dispatch and our backup systems needed to be upgraded as well. So we're in the process of doing that too. And then, as you'll see later, I think in the agenda, but Lieutenant Purdue has announced her retirement, and she is retired from the sheriff's office. So I have taken that position from there. So I'll take any questions if there are any.
Questions? The 911 report. Appreciate it. Drone Subcommittee report.
Yes, sir. So, as of today's date, we're up to 23 call outs for the year. We've had 7 just in the month of June. We were out of track a couple weeks ago flying for the race. MIS then did call us, a couple days later to assist NASCAR. They had a bad crash out there. We did some flying for them for some engineering, of the track that had some damage. And then tomorrow, one of our deputies will be out at Hudson Schools giving a demonstration for a drone class that they have that they're participating in. Wow.
All right, excellent. Any questions for the drone subcommittee report? Moving on, existing business, Norfolk Southern Prop Crane Hazmat and Tech.
Yeah, that's just on there. Everybody knows that we're doing that now and the dates. So I'm just leaving that on there, until after our next meeting, which leads me right into the next item, which our next meeting is at Litchfield Fire. Prop train is going to get there on Monday, the 17th. We have a meeting on the 18th, and I thought it'd be a good opportunity for everybody in the community to see that prop train and what it's all about. And that's all I have on that.
Excellent. Moving on to new business. So Lieutenant Chris Hudson mentioned it, that he is, has stepped in as the Director of Dispatch. So we welcome him. We need to officially approve him as the Public Safety Communications Rep. I would entertain a motion to do so.
So moved.
Motion has been made, second. With a second, any discussion?
So that actually, that motion is to.
Actually, to move it on to
move
the,
on rules and appointments.
yep,
With the
exactly.
board, with the, excuse me, with the full board of commissioners. And Chris is already the alternate for Corinne, so that's why he's able to participate in today's meeting, even though he's not officially approved yet as the primary.
excellent. So that motion amended to move it on and
I'll move to, forward it to the commissioners for approval.
all right. Second, who would second that?
Chief Patterson.
Chief Patterson, all right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion passes. Fiscal year 25 funding update.
So I already touched on that in my report, so I'll have more information on that at the August meeting.
Excellent. Critical incident mapping grant.
So we applied for and were approved for a critical incident mapping grant with the state of Michigan. We actually applied for two projects. We were only approved for one. And the project that we decided to go with this year was to map all of the buildings at Adrian College campus. 'Cause they have had a couple of incidents out there. One was a swatting incident, one was a somewhat of a real incident. So we decided to do that one first. The other one we applied for was to do the hospital and county buildings, and if that grant is available next year and we're approved for it, then we'll do that as our second phase, but it's the same company that did all the mapping for the schools. So it's a pretty good system. It integrates with the CAD system, so that those maps can be sent right to responding officers, MDTs. And they're moving right along with it because we have to have it done. There's a short performance period, so we have to have that done by the end of August.
Excellent. Any questions on that? All right, appreciate it. Public comment. It's the time for public to make a comment. Any public has a comment they'd like to make? All right, seeing none. I would entertain.
Just a reminder that our next meeting is at Blissfield Fire Department. When I send out the agenda, I'll remind everybody of that, but it's right, if you don't know where it's at, it's right on 223 in town there. Right next to the Blissfield dinner train.
I gotta put that in my calendar. I'll end up here. I know I will if I don't.
Do you recommend departments that, I don't even have a tracks close. This is gonna be open for everybody, right?
So it's primarily for fire and hazmat and their tech rescue, but I will send an invitation to everybody on the committee to attend as an observer. There's basically 4 exercises, a hazmat and tech rescue that is from 12 to 4. Those are happening simultaneously, but they're not related to each other. And then we're going to do another one, tech rescue and hazmat, from 6 to 10. Again, they'll happen simultaneously, but they're not related to each other.
Cause I had talked to Chief Greer over Raisin, and he was, so I thought maybe he was sending them all.
The other thing that I will send out is there, in addition to the exercise, which is on the Wednesday, starting at noon, the train gets there on Monday. They do some classroom stuff on Tuesday. I think there's 2, maybe 3. It's called Railcar 101. So if you have a railroad that runs through your jurisdiction, it would be good to attend that, and anybody can attend that. They'll do another one Wednesday morning, and then they'll do another one Thursday morning, and then they pull out to go to their next location. But they do that right there in the box cars that are part of the prop train. And it's just a introduction to rail cars, where shutoffs are, how to shut off, an emergency shut off for the power to the engine. It's actually it's not easy getting into those engines. So if there's a medical emergency in the engine, it's how do you get access to it? We found out through Madison Township that one of their, engineers was pregnant and went into labor and stopped right outside the Madison Fire Department. And it's actually like a little tunnel that you gotta be, can't be a very big guy. You gotta be like a tunnel rat to get into this tunnel, shimmy into the tunnel to get into that engine to, for them to get her out. So it just goes over a lot of things like that, what to do, what not to do if there's an incident in your jurisdiction and you're one of the first on scene.
Yeah, I don't think I want my deputies trying to shut an engine off. That doesn't sound good.
No.
All right, appreciate it. Motion to adjourn? Motion. Support? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.